What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Every Day is Draft Day. I am your host, Dan Turner. Joining me as always, Steffi Smalls. What's up, Steph?
Not much. It's Friday. I don't love that you took the Saquon jersey off your wall. It seems like
What
a
Saquon jersey?
small personal attack.
I don't know what Saquon jersey you're talking about. I've never seen a Saquon jersey in my life.
Yes.
You're just delusional.
Yes.
Never heard of him.
Dan is trying his hardest today to instigate me to no limit.
So on today's show, we're going to go over our rosters from our new Snake Draft Live on the Champions Road.
Oh, we don't need to do that.
Oh, we don't? All right. You run the show. I'm just going to sit
No,
back.
we can. All right, let's go over them.
You tell me what we're doing.
I auto-drafted. I just want to...
I'm just going to sit here, and you can run it this time.
No, okay. Go ahead. Continue. We'll go over them.
No.
I'm just embarrassed, okay?
You should be. It's a terrible team. It's absolutely awful.
I was stressed. There's not a lot of time. If you're going to do these, just be... You have to clay people, guys.
We're also going to be doing another one actually later on tonight. So we're going to be talking some strategy for that one as well. So to start off, we're just going to go over the teams that we drafted. Basically, you draft 5 players. It's super flex, so you can draft anyone that's currently in the playoffs. If you wanted to, you could draft 5 quarterbacks, 5 kickers, 5 defenses, whatever your heart desires. So I'll go through my team first, since my team is the only one that matters here, and Steph's team is terrible.
Yes, mine's really bad. Like, I don't even. We'll use my team as an example of how to inappropriately draft.
What you could not do by Steffi Smalls. Yes. All right. So I drafted in the first round Travis Kelce, then Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Hunter Renfrow, and Dalton Schultz. So basically, what I wanted to do with my first round pick is I wanted to get the tight end, the best tight end in the playoffs. On a team that's basically is projected to go really far. I know that it was super flex, and a lot of people went quarterback first, but I wanted to get that tight end. What do you think about that pick?
I like that pick. That's fine. I'll allow it.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
And I think a lot of this too, like, not to interrupt, we'll get into strategy leaders. Like, you have to think about what teams you think are going to make it the furthest, and if not, what do you do? Do you boost them early? So there's a lot to think about. I was overwhelmed. I think this was my first draft that I did for this round, and having just the playoff teams is like a lot at once if you don't look over the guys again. Right,
exactly. Yeah, it's basically a balancing act versus guys that you think are going to score really high versus the people you think are going to last the longest. What's more important? You're going to have that mixed.
Right.
2 quarterbacks actually, do that perfectly. I have Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a huge week, but I don't think he's going to go very far. They might, because God forbid I say that, we might lose. I'm like the worst Eagle fan in the world. So we might win. All right. We might win. But I don't expect us to go far. Kyler Murray, I expect to go farther. I think the Cardinals are going to beat the Rams and go at least an NFC title game. So that's good. Then Hunter Renfrow, I just won because he's my personal favorite person in the entire world. And then Dalton Schultz, who has quietly become, a really good tight end this year. He finished really high. And with Michael Gallup being hurt in Dallas, he's definitely going to get more targets there. So overall, that's my 5 players. I think I had a good balance of people that are going to be, huge games, but it might not last as long, and people that are going to be in the playoffs for a while. What about you? What's your team?
I started with Gronk, and I don't want to hear anything. I actually like this pick, despite what everyone probably wants to laugh at. We saw what Gronk did all season. He finished as a top 5 tight end. He's Brady's guy. So I actually am okay with him here. I assume that Tampa will end up making it far. So this, for me, is an okay pick, especially with the injuries that they have and everything that's going on over there. I think he will be Mr. Reliable.
Okay. What else? Keep going.
Next one's a little iffy. It depends. As the days get closer, I'm starting to think to myself, could the Raiders pull off an upset? And if they didn't play that overtime, I might be leaning towards them a little bit more. So I went Jamar Chase. Again, I like this. He's going to be my boosted player this week. I'd rather get the points out of him too right now. I don't know that they'll make it past 2 rounds. So probably will use him early on. And then this is when things get really gross. And 2 of these are auto drafts. So this is why you have to make sure you have your players lined up. So my next one's James Conner, who, again, I'm actually fine with this one as well. I think Arizona should, they have the potential to make a solid run. I think that James Conner, as much as he is, touchdown dependent, it doesn't matter. He's getting the touchdowns, he's getting the points. He finishes his top 10 RB this year, so I'm okay with it. And then this is when it gets bad. So CEH is the other player. Don't auto draft. I'm gonna make no other comment other than that. And then also, if you're gonna auto draft, don't auto draft the defense, because then I have Kansas City's D. So I'm definitely losing in this, 100%. But outside of that, I do like the 3 picks in the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I think I think that the time was a big factor for you. Even though you had about 16 hours in between your picks. Apparently your queue wasn't big enough for some reason.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. I think with it was a good practice. It's definitely a lot of fun to do. It helps that the regular fantasy season is over, and it gives you another opportunity to jump in and continue playing. So the one tonight, hopefully you can do a little bit.
Yeah. Well, better. I have a better draft position too. I think these are particularly difficult at the back end, actually, than a normal draft, because there's only so many quarterbacks to choose from. And also, I feel like there's an advantage to having a quarterback, especially in this setting. So, and even for someone that does do zero QB very often, like I would have very much liked to have the opportunity to have a quarterback. But then again, you don't have that many options to choose from. So that definitely hurt me around the Ben there.
Big Ben, he was right there. He wasn't even picked at all. He was right there for you.
I'm sorry. I don't want Big Ben on during the regular
quarterback. Season. Make up your mind. You say you don't want a quarterback. You don't want Big Ben. Like, what do you want?
Okay, well, I want like a quarterback that's going to like get me points.
Oh, okay. So Big Ben's not going to score anything. Got it.
Right.
Makes sense now.
And I think a good technique too, and I want to see how you feel about this, is I feel like it's good, since you only get so many players, it's good to get guys from, like, I wouldn't take more than 1 or 2 guys from a team, because I think you're spreading yourself too thin if they end up getting knocked out, especially early. You're kind of
yes. I would not put all the eggs in one basket, as the saying goes. I think diversifying your team is definitely a good strategy to go for. And speaking of strategy, what's your without doing too much in the way of spoilers, because we are drafting against each other, what's your strategy going into tonight's draft?
Oh, well, I'm not going to let time run out, probably.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that'll be the first thing. I think I definitely want a quarterback this time. Absolutely. And I think this time I even looked over it a little bit better and kind of separated, looking at who the leaders were at each position, looking at, how, players were doing towards the end. Because Singletary was someone that I wanted. And he got sniped from me. I actually didn't think anyone would think to take him, because he didn't do as well during the season, but towards that tail end he did start picking up the pace. So guys like that, I think that maybe aren't some flashy name from during the season, but at the end there you kind of saw their targets going up, you saw their production go up. Those might be the guys that I think are nice snags.
Yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely. For me, I'm going to basically do pretty much what I did this last time. I'm going to go look for values in the rounds, like someone like Jalen Hurts, who was like a 3rd round pick, who could provide that above round value, and just let the draft come to me.
What do you do about? So I have a question.
I have an answer, hopefully.
Okay. What do we do about Titans and Packers players? Do you feel confident taking those guys despite they don't have that first week?
That's a good thing. Like the bye teams. I'd feel confident just because, for example, if someone like me who probably might take an Eagle or a Steelers, or someone that most people don't expect to go very far, and then on the same token maybe draft like an Aaron Rodgers to counteract that, who is going to be there for sure at least another week and is expected to go pretty far. So it's really all about balance for me. I wouldn't I wouldn't be scared of drafting players that aren't going to play this week, because they can end up giving you huge dividends down the road when you need them.
Yeah. So I would say I'm pretty scared to draft Steelers players, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not drafting Steelers.
I'm just not doing it. And if I were to draft any, I would probably go a Najee route or Muth Daddy route, but like I'm probably not going to be drafting any Steelers players, or at least I'm going to avoid it. I did notice, like just letting you know, I'm helping you out right now, that basically all the top tight ends are essentially in the playoffs. So I will absolutely be grabbing a tight end, and I wouldn't even be opposed to grabbing two if it came down to it.
Yeah, it is. It is funny that you mentioned that. I noticed that, like, when I was looking over the draft after we were finished last time, I was looking at the tight ends. Like, every good tight end is here. So
every single one. It's like Kelsey, Schultz, Kittle,
Waller, Goddard,
Gronk, Knox, Henry.
Yeah. They're all here. It's a party.
All of them. You can get them all.
Party. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
What if I drafted all tight ends?
That'd be amazing.
I won't do that, but
that would be sick. You should draft all quarterbacks. Just draft 5 quarterbacks and call it a day.
Yeah, right. Those go right away.
It's not the worst strategy, honestly, to get the most points.
Well, I don't think you'd be able to do it because that's what everyone goes for right away.
Well, I mean, not everyone. I mean, there were still quarterbacks left over from last time. Like Big Ben didn't even get drafted at all. So I mean, maybe it's
that's true.
Something to worry. I don't know. It's something.
What quarterback do you think is like? Where are your top 2 for this setting that you would desire having?
Josh Allen and Brady.
Yeah, I agree.
Personally,
I agree.
I mean, I like Rodgers and Murray are obviously also good choices, but I just think that those two will be around long and they'll put up a ton of points while they're in there. So it really can't go wrong with that.
I think Tannehill will slip like he definitely did in our draft. And I would be comfortable taking him if he's still there. I mean, like, I don't love it, but also if the Titans have, made quite a statement this year, and I think he might just be a guy that at least gets you points, and they might be around for quite some time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's something to think about. Absolutely, and I just like the thing was with the whole bye week thing. Like, I would definitely prefer to draft more Packers than Titans.
Yeah.
I think that generally speaking, that we can agree that we figure that Packers are probably going to go farther than the Titans are.
Yeah.
And there's more draftable players on the Packers than the Titans. It all depends on how Derrick Henry, like, health wise, is too, because if he's going to come back and play, obviously he's going to be a good pickup. Because the running backs are kind of bleh. As good as the tight ends are, the running back crops in the playoffs this year are not that great.
Yeah. And I feel like there's kind of a drop. Like, there's the main wide receivers too, and then there's like a little bit of a drop off because a lot of guys got hurt. And some teams are playing with some characters that we're not necessarily used to seeing as much of, like we saw all season.
Yeah, but there's going to be good value to find. So just got to make sure you go in there and have fun and just let the draft come to you.
That's very poetic of you.
Thank you. That's what I do in my spare time. I write poetry. I'm glad you noticed. Thank you.
You're also missing your Saquon jersey.
There is no such thing as a Saquon jersey. You are delusional. That has never existed. This part of the wall right here has never had anything on it.
So right. You just hang things very unbalanced.
This way. Right. So I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing there. Nothing there.
God.
Yeah.
So rude. The rudest.
It's not. I don't know. You think what you want.
Yeah.
I don't care how you feel, to be honest.
Oh, the Eagles are going to beat Tampa, aren't they?
You saying that is just reverse psychology. I know that's not what you.
No, I feel like they are.
You're just trying to reverse jinx my team because your team sucks, and I just don't.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about my team at all. I don't care what they do.
Yes, you do.
They will let me down in some
6
manner.
hours after Joe Judge got fired. You really broke
the cap because I couldn't believe that they made a logical decision.
I hope they hire Adam Gase.
Okay, that's just rude.
Yeah, it is. That's what you get. All right, that'll do it for this episode of Every Day is Draft Day because we're done here. I hope you all can tune in. If you haven't gotten into the draft for tonight, definitely jump in there. We'd love to, talk and draft.
And start your own drafts. It's so fun. Get your friends and.
Yeah, strangers, the old lady down the street, have her draft.
Anyone you want.
Anyone you want. So I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. You can find us both on Champions Round. We're doing everything TikTok, every media platform known to man, we're on
Yes.
at this point. So hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll see you at the draft later, and hope your team wins if it's in the playoffs, unless you're a fan of the Giants.
Happy
Have a
Friday.
good day, everybody.